I'd like to call the regularly scheduled Board of Selectmen meeting for Monday, November 4th, 2019 to order. First order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Charlie, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 2 is public hearing to obtain comment on an ordinance to amend the code of the town of Guilford, Chapter 38, Harbor Management. And the notice was posted. This is an ordinance to amend the code of the town of Guilford, Chapter 48, Harbor Management. It's being amended to adopt an amendment to the restated Guilford Harbor Management Plan and to modify references to the Department of Transportation in order to be consistent with changes in the state law passed in 2016. Copies are of the proposed ordinance have been on file and posted online. Is there anyone from the public who is wishing to comment on the amended? No? That's a no. Is there anyone on the board? Yeah, that's true. Although she's allowed to attend meetings. Remember we had...
She can attend, but she can't talk.
Yeah, well, wait, unless she's talking about Simon.
Here's where we get sidetracked.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. Any comments or questions, anybody on the board?
It really looks like a technical change to bring it in conformity with state statute.
And also, there is an amendment that the Harbor Management Commission had created to the plan, so that's more substantive.
Related to some variances, and it
Correct.
just speaks in terms of not being able to do anything that's gonna change, any major variances, but minor things such as floating dock sizes. I mean,
Correct.
it seems like it's a cleanup language as well, and to kind of make things run a little more smoothly.
Right. Good. Anything? Hearing no comments? Do we have to vote on this?
Looks like we gotta vote on the ordinance, I would
On the
think.
ordinance, right?
Yeah, but later.
Later in the meeting.
Later in the
Close
that's
public
right.
hearing at this point.
Yeah, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals, hearing none, motion carries. Item 3, public forum. Anyone wishing to address the board in public forum? Mary Jane? You're not allowed.
That's not true, by state statute, you're allowed.
You are allowed, that's right, that's right. Hearing none, let's move on to item 4, and that's to approve minutes, the October 21st, 2019 regular meeting minutes. Anyone have any changes?
I have one, I think, clarification on the motion 4.2, which is considering to take possible action, close out the capital projects. And maybe this is exactly what was said, but it says approve the resolution to close out the capital projects in Fund 214. Is that what's happening, or are we closing out the bond authorizations?
Both.
So then it should maybe say bond authorizations as
Yes.
well.
Right.
Capital projects and bond authorizations.
Good. Good point. Anyone else? No? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals, hearing none, motion carries. Item 5, discuss and take possible action to authorize the first selectman to award bid number 4-1920 diesel fund heating, fuel oil, and unleaded gasoline after the bids are received on November 6, 2019 at 9:30 a.m. This is our annual
Standard
bid,
procedure.
standard procedure.
I'll
Charlie.
move
And
Second.
You'll notify us though what they are.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have, an hour from the time the bids are opened, so that's why we need to do the authorization in advance. All right. Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals, hearing none, motion carries. Okay, item 6, consider and take possible action on an ordinance to amend the code of the town of Guilford, Chapter 38, Harbor Management, as a result of our earlier public hearing. Moved and seconded?
Second.
Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals, hearing none, motion carries. Item 7, appointments and resignations. The first 7.1 is to act on resignation received from Rob Federici from the Public Works Commission. Would you like to make that motion with
I would.
appreciation and?
I would like to make that motion and point out that there's reasons for resignations going out. The grandbaby on the way is as good as they get. So they're
You win.
gonna be busy.
Good, good.
Great.
And
I'll second.
Second, call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals, hearing none, motion carries. 7.2, act on resignation received from Hank Graver from the Hazard Mitigation Commission. Is there a motion with appreciation and regret?
So moved.
And seconded?
Second.
Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals, hearing none, motion carries. 7.3, act on request from the Conservation Commission to remove alternate member from the commission due to poor attendance. Is
I'll
there,
move.
you'll move, and seconded?
Second.
We worked with the respective town committee, and they verified that the individual was no longer going to participate.
And as, you know, we talked during the week, you'll, after repeated attempts to
To reach the individual.
reach out to without any response.
Right. So that's been moved and seconded. Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Recusals, hearing none, motion carries. Item 8, request for the use of town property. Charlie, you wanna take this? There's only 2 of them
I'm
today.
gonna
This
read
one-
them both. Okay, I'll move that, approve the request for Starship Dance Theater to place a sign on the green, December 6th through 8th, or sign placement, I guess, November 22nd through the 8th of December. And also a request for Guilford Youth Lacrosse to place a sign on the green, December 2nd. Sign placement, November 18th through the 2nd of December.
Second
Second.
that.
Any further discussion? Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals, hearing none, motion carries. Item 9, committee reports. Anything, Sam?
Hopefully at the next meeting, we will be coming forward with the next step for the affordable housing project on the Woodruff Road property. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned,
Good.
wonderful.
Do we want to announce that public hearing, just so
Yeah.
people start
Do we have a date before a firm date on the public
the
hearing?
19th?
No,
not
it's
the
the,
hearing.
December something.
The 11th,
yeah,
right?
it's,
Yeah.
it's the 11th, right? There's 2 meetings in December regarding this, so December 11th and December 19th, but that's what they finally ended up being, I believe.
I believe so.
You know what, on November 18th, we'll officially
Yeah.
confirm that, but to the best of my knowledge, the meetings that are for the public will be 2 evening meetings, Wednesday, December 11th, and Thursday, December 19th.
And we'll have like a written proposal, exactly what's gonna be presented,
Yes.
is that coming
Yes.
forward? Okay, great, good.
Yes,
Thank you.
and members from the entity, the developer, NeighborWorks will be here, plus the attorney that has been representing the town in the ongoing contract negotiations, and members of the Housing Economic Development Plan Committee. We might have to have a larger room. No, I think we'll be fine. It will be a larger room. It'll be the community center at night. But on the 18th, the morning of the 18th, some of those people will be at the meeting that we're asking the selectmen to approve going forward.
Great.
I know we talked about it, or Susan brought it up, about notifying people about meetings and not wanting to wear out the mass notification system. Has there been any progress? We talked about getting that group of emails and using it for a separate system just for notifications of meetings such as this.
We have not, I have not, but I will take that, I'll take that back. And my apologies, we have not had an opportunity to,
I guess Susan was talking about another town where they just whether it be text or emails, and people can opt out or whatever.
well, it's an opt-in program. I'm not sure that we have, I did have a brief discussion with town council about utilizing those. We would need to take and verify every one of those in order to use it for a different purpose.
Maybe we could do that in the first email notification.
Could be.
Well, what, I just remember that other system that the fire department and now the police department are using.
It's the reverse 911.
No,
POG.
yeah, VOG. I don't know if that system, I don't know, I think it would be worth,
That system, that system,
yeah.
yeah,
okay.
well, and the VOG system we might run up against some licensing issues.
Okay.
And-
I just think it would be worth pursuing some way, especially in this world of social media and emails and text and all that, to to get some of this meeting notice stuff out there, or even just post the calendar, you know, once a month. Here's a calendar for the town for the month, guys.
Good idea. And we could go about building a database of email users. We'd need to advertise it and have folks respond and do it. But Trace, let's take that and see what we can do. We'll work with Tony to develop some kind of
The
database.
sign thing, that electronic sign thing is on the back burner now. We don't have that in the works at all anymore, do we?
No, the one that they were gonna put across from
Adams
Ed
or
Adams, yeah,
something.
yeah, no.
But we did buy the trailer to go behind.
Portable.
Right.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
that's similar to the vote sign, which should be up by this morning, you know, if you don't drive by it, you don't see it.
Yeah,
you
right,
know.
right.
I know.
We used to have the
You
banner
know,
across
maybe,
Route
you know,
1 to-
find some location that becomes a location where people start looking for it.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know, I just, you know, I think it'd be something worth working towards.
we'll start with trying to create our own database and have folks opt in. All right, thanks, Charlie. Anybody have anything else? We had some correspondence, no correspondence. I had one item of old business, and that was related to the True Blue request for variance on a noise ordinance. And Charlie, we had talked about confirming it with DEP. Remember that piece? We got town council opinion. We did not need to go through deep on that because our restrictions are greater than DEP's. We went and looked at the statutory language
As relates to noise.
as it relates to noise, and the trump card is construction.
Okay, but I think my point was more just letting them know.
Well,
Not so much asking for their
Oh,
permission
right,
as much
right,
as,
right.
we're doing this,
Right.
you know, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So they
The
can't be surprised. by it.
We did have some conversations with folks at DEP. We didn't officially send them notification, but based on town council's opinion and reading the state statute, the exception for construction is clear.
Yeah, okay. I have no problem with the legalese of it all, it's just, we ought to play nice in the sandbox at this point.
Believe me, absolutely. And that's a good point. We are awaiting response from DEP on our most recent suggestions on the notices of violation, so that we're inching closer to some kind of settlement there.
Great.
Anybody else with old business? New business? I only had one last Thursday evening, which was Halloween. Of course, as I've proven, I'm pretty apt to making a fool of myself, and I had a costume on all day long here. But I went out with Brian McGlone around 5 o'clock, and we walked around the green as the kids and parents were doing the traditional trick-or-treating with the merchants. And the purpose for me going out was to thank the merchants, and I wanted to do that publicly as well. It's just another example of why this is such a wonderful community. All of the merchants around the green, they have staff stay on late. I can't imagine how many bags of candy they have to buy and how many hundreds of dollars worth of candy they buy. But in past, we've had upwards of 1,000 pieces of candy go out from some of those shopkeepers. So, my point.
Well, especially this year with the weather, every event in every neighborhood, it became iffy, are we gonna do it, are we not
Yeah,
gonna do
gonna
it?
do it,
And, the talk around town was what a home run, the event down on the green. I mean, everybody was going down to the green, or the 2 or 3 neighborhoods that publicly announced that they were open for business.
Right.
I happened to be driving through at about 5:25, and I just, I'm glad that you acknowledged the merchants, because I was extremely impressed.
Right.
Not
I guess
the
I've
merchants,
missed
but
it
the
in the
police
past.
department,
Police-
the fire
And
department,
the
they all,
police,
Fire,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
Just,
it was,
Yeah.
the level
it
of,
was very nice, very,
you know, people
heartwarming.
watching and caring to make sure it was a safe and good event. And the weather
And the-
cooperated for a few hours.
Yeah, until the wind started really screaming.
The wind was incredible that night.
Good. Anybody else with new business? Public forum, anyone wish to address the board public forum? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, recusals? Hearing none, motion carries.
Might have been a record.
I think this
It
was
is